Amelia and I are Monster Hunter NYC. We are a gaming-based Monster Hunter community based in New York City. We meet at Waypoint Cafe, so shout out to them. They've been around here at the con. They're just kind of hanging out. But they are a gaming cafe in New York City. They stream Overwatch, do other tournaments and stuff like that, and they host our meetups every Saturday. We also have a Facebook community, and we have our business cards up here, which you can come get at the end of the panel, as well as some Discord pins and some Discord. I don't know, are those stickers? Are they like business cards? They have like our URL on the back for our Discord server, which we run. So we run a Discord, Twitter, and a Facebook where we post our events. We also stream on Twitch. Speaking of which, our other admin, John, will be streaming sometime later today. I don't have the exact time, so I apologize for that. But he will be streaming Monster Hunter World. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Iceborne, because why would he stream anything else? Yeah, and so we are Monster Hunter NYC. And let's just get into, we got Sammy here. We can skip your panel.
Yeah,
all right.
It's not important.
So, what is Monster Hunter? For those of you who don't know, Monster Hunter has been around since the PS2. It's had iterations on the Switch, and now most recently the PS4 and the PC, finally.
Yes. PC Master Race, sorry if you're not. That you guys have enjoyed the beta of Iceborne on console. That's all.
Oh. You know, I'm not going to disagree with him, and we have a video that will explain this later. So we will show why the PC might actually be the slightly superior version, or at least the more entertaining version, and we will get into that.
It's not wrong, frame rate.
Thank you.
The frame rate, sure, but there are other more aesthetically appealing reasons why. We will see. We'll get to that. So, Monster Hunter is a game that's not really like many other games. It's really the first of its kind. A lot of people compare it to Dark Souls, and they're wrong. Because Dark Souls was inspired by Monster Hunter. So to say Monster Hunter is a Dark Souls-like game is like saying, I don't know, Square is a rectangle-based game. It's just not the same thing. Yeah, exactly. So Monster Hunter is an arena boss battle game, really, with like hunter-gatherer elements. You run around, you gather herbs, you gather poop, you gather bones, and you kill monsters. Like, the gathering sounds really boring, but it's actually amazing. Like it sounds boring as fuck. Like, oh man, I gotta collect some herbs and some honey to make some fucking max potions, like, or some great potions. Like why? Why is that fun? It is. No, this is better than WoW Classic because you actually get rewards for what you do. There's an actual feeling of progression. So that's the other thing with Monster Hunter. There are no levels. You don't level up. Your leveling up is your ability to play. And it's the high that you get from overcoming that wall monster that you just can't beat. For me, it was the Diablos in Monster Hunter Tri. I was a Sword and Shield main in Tri because.
Sword and Shield mains.
What up? High five. Come here. Come on. High five. Excellent.
They need to bring our oils back.
Yo, Anyway, so yeah, so like for me, it was the Diablos in Tri. I got to the Diablos in single player. I couldn't beat it. I kept running out of time, or I'd triple cart. Like, and mostly it was running out of time because Sword and Shield doesn't do a lot of damage. I didn't understand elemental damage. I didn't use traps. I didn't use bombs. I didn't use flash bombs, like or sonic bombs. Like, I wasn't playing the game, and that's the thing about Monster Hunter is it's all about the community, because when I finally learned to play the game was when I got friends who played the game. They inspired me to pick up the game after dropping it for 5 months. Yeah, and then I went online and I found facts on how to play the Sword and Shield. I watched videos. The community was already there, and they'd already done a lot of the work for me. And once I had looked into that, the Diablos was a piece of cake. It was nothing. And then from there, I've been playing ever since Tri, and I love this series so much. It's that high that you get from accomplishing something. And that's what this game is all about. It's about growing and getting better and overcoming your weaker self. Because you're not fighting the monsters, you're fighting yourself. And the monsters. You are also fighting the monsters. But that in a philosophical sense is Monster Hunter. So, if you're new to the game, there are a couple different ways to pick it up. There are obviously the old versions of the game, which there's still a community around them, but it's just a little harder to find people to play with. If you have a Switch, there is Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate on the Switch, which is yes, but it's Generations Ultimate here for people who speak English. You're not wrong, but
Double Cross is a cooler name.
I will give you that. But it's on the Switch. It has all the DLC. All the DLC is free from the Japan version. It's a very easy way to pick up and play the game. There's a solid online community. You can bring your Switch to places like MAGFest and find people to just play. You don't have to lug a PS4 around and a monitor with you. So that's my preferred way to play Monster Hunter. It's my jam. And I love GU, I love the colors, I love the variety of monsters that you have. It's one of the largest monster catalogs of all the Monster Hunter series.
The silly weapons.
And the weapons are just the best. If the Switch isn't your speed, there is Monster Hunter World. And I don't know if this trailer is going to play audio or not. Are you muted? Looks like you're...
Right, exactly. And it seems like every week they put this fish up before.
And look on the bright side, it could be freaking no, lava fan. Lava.
See, this is why the community is great, because we all know the personality of the monsters, and we are more than happy to talk to you about them. It's that shared pain, shared trauma. Okay. And now we have another trailer for you.
It's having an incredible effect on other life in the new world.
Wait, that is no island.
Us in Psychos,
Some of you might have think you've seen this trailer before, but I guarantee you haven't, at least not this way.
If we might continue to.
See, and that's the type
Technically, yes. Golden Princess is killing me.
They need to put local in here.
Gigi!
So yeah, Iceborne's coming to PC. You can fight Thomas the Tank Engine. Choo choo, motherfuckers. Yeah, that's 4 days from now. I just realized that. Like, I've lost all concept of time since the year changed to 2020, and I have no idea when I am right now. So I'll let Sammy take over the Monster Hunter World explanation since he's a resident expert.
So I'm taking it majority of you have played World or Iceborne. How many of you started on World?
Wow.
That's sick.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Play GU, it's great.
So
You can like both?
So yeah, I've been, like I said, I've been playing since Try. World is probably top 2 for me. I really love Portable Third. That's like a all-time favorite, and it's not like it's not 4U or GU or anything. It's just super low key, so it's one of my favorites. But World, pun intended, it was game changing for the series. Just being here this mag, like I was saying to her, I've seen already like 3 other people with this exact same shirt. 2 years ago, I'd say Monster Hunter. People are like, what do you do in that game? It's like, it's called Monster Hunter. Like,
What more do you need? Like,
so seeing a crowd like this for Monster Hunter is brings so much joy, and with World being able to do what it did is insane. There's people who have their opinions about it, whether they like it or love it or not. It's extremely important in the series, so it'll always be very close to my heart. And with Iceborne coming out, when World first came out, everybody was like, "Oh man, it's World! Like, when are we getting G rank? Where's G rank? We all need G rank." And there were a lot of people who didn't think we were gonna get it. I don't know why. We've never gotten a Monster Hunter and then no G rank to follow. So when Iceborne came out, we were all backflipping off of walls and leaping. So Iceborne is amazing. If any of you haven't, has anybody here not played Iceborne yet? Are you all PC Master Race? I'll take that as a yes. So yeah, Iceborne builds off of that, and if you've played previous games in the series where you get your ultimate version, that's what Iceborne is. So you get an extra level of difficulty, weapons get new moves, and there's just a ton more monsters in the roster, and just a ton. And then the new thing they added, so if you've come from playing the other series, Capcom always likes to try new things, which I always commend them for doing. They tried the swimming thing. Again, some people loved, some people hated it. I started there, so that's all I knew. I was like, well, you're supposed to swim. I guess that makes sense.
I think they should bring it back, personally.
Me too.
I miss Ciadeus. Who
and then
here
fourth generation.
misses Ciadeus? I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then,
Seriously, because Sven Legiacris is not the same without swimming.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
And then the fourth generation, they did the verticality with the jumping and the mounting and all that stuff. And then World, they just took it to a whole different level of just making everything as seamless and just so much quality of life. And then with Iceborne, they've added the whole new mechanic of a clutch claw, which is you basically are a monster hunter with a hook shot at any given point, which is insane. So you can just claw into the monster and do whatever you want, send them flying into traps and the walls, all that kind of stuff. And that's like the main thing that they've been showing for Iceborne. So again, if you haven't picked it up, it's like, I think it's actually on sale for console, like a combo deal. And it's coming to PC this week. So everybody should be playing Iceborne in at least 3 days.
Full 4 days for it to come out.
4 days, like he said,
Yeah.
it's been
4 days for
December
PC.
26th for like 3 weeks for me.
Right.
I have no idea what day it is anymore.
When are we?
Yeah. So yeah, World is a great game. I've put at least 3,000 hours into it across both platforms. As much as I PC Master Race, I'm never waiting for Monster Hunter. So I'm playing it on whatever I need to play it on as soon as it comes out. Yeah, I have. There's no way I can't. So yeah, that's Iceborne in a nutshell. I don't know. Actually, sorry, I don't care if you don't care about if you're waiting for spoilers. Zinogre's in there, Garuga's in there, Gold Raytheon's in there, Silver Rathalos is in there, Nargacuga is in there. Best fight in the game. I'm sorry if you disagree. Glavinus is back. Bracky is back. Barioth, yes, Barioth is back.
Yeah.
That's a sleeper monster, in my opinion. People forget about Barioth. Savage Joe, which is one of the greatest entrances when you first see Savage Joe in the game. Yeah, Rajang is also back. He punches you a lot, and it hurts. Yeah, he hurts.
I want to say no spoilers. That tree at the end of the game. I hate that tree.
Oh, the tree legend.
One at the very end that goes from a mountain to a tree. Yeah, F that one.
Yeah. I'm thinking that's Leshen. Leshen is the tree from World. That was the Witcher crossover. Oh, Ishvalda. Oh yeah, that thing. Shara. For those of you that don't know, there's again, Iceborne's been out long enough. Sorry if you're waiting, but you're at a Monster Hunter panel. We're gonna talk about Monster Hunter. Yeah, one of the final Elder Dragons. If you didn't know, he's always looking directly in your camera. His eyes are always looking at you. And again, that's just more of those little details that I feel they've been able to flesh out with in World, with the engine and the platform and all the things they have access to. So World is a huge game for the series, and I love it. Like I said, it's at least top 2, if not number 1 for me. I've put thousands of hours in it multiple times.
All right, so yeah, we've talked about these are various updates.
Oh yeah, so like we said, the updates they first added Rajang, and then after that they added Stygian Zinogre, and then they just recently added Safi Jiva, which is the full adult form of Xeno. So Xeno is a baby, if you didn't think so. And Safi is super cool. He's like he's one of the first, like, I think he's the first new, like, classical looking dragon that we've got in World, coming from Kolv Taroth, which was like, that's like a big Jagras that takes his clothes off for you. But I love Kolv. Yeah, so they took a lot of the stuff from Kolv, the way that siege works, and just refined all of that stuff with Safi Jiva, and it's super cool. I've only done it a couple times because I'm saving myself for the better released version. But it's really cool. The weapons they add, you can augment them and do super crazy stuff. People have put like the element to like 1,000, or they've just turned their whole sharpness bar to purple. And there's just a lot of really cool stuff you can do. And the weapons just look awesome too. They have like an eye that opens up and like looks around and stuff. Yeah, so Safi Jiva is a really cool expansion that they did. And all this stuff that they've added is free once you have the game. So they're adding full-on content, monsters, and all that. Just once you get the game, you just get Rajang, Stygian, Safi, and they're still adding more too.
Yeah. Capcom's always been really good about that with Monster Hunter, with the free DLC. You buy the game, you get all the content regardless of when it comes out, and that's one thing Capcom has done right in the recent past.
Yeah. With World, the only things you buy are sexy handler outfits, which I've bought every single one. But you don't have to buy those to get all the content and experience in the game, which is awesome.
All right, and so this is where we're going to transition from the Monster Hunter aspect to the community aspect, which I'm sure some of you may or may not be interested. We have a lot of stories to tell, so if you want some hot tea, definitely stick around, and also stick around for the raffle. So, like, I'm bribing you to stay. But these are some people to look out for if you're new to Monster Hunter. You may already, if you're familiar with Monster Hunter, you may already know some of these people. Maybe you don't. Herny, who couldn't be here, is a phenomenal Monster Hunter player, and he's also a phenomenal musician. Definitely look him up. He's on YouTube. HotSammySliz, obviously. There's Team Darkside, Gaijin Hunter. Gaijin Hunter lives in Japan, and he does a lot of Monster Hunter stuff. He's really nice, super nice guy. There's Vampy Bit Me, who is a phenomenal Monster Hunter player, cosplayer, Gundam builder, Namco rep. Like, she does fucking everything. She is absolutely awesome. There's Wolfie Melon, NCH Productions, and RX. So definitely like give these all a look up. They're not associated with us. Herny and Sammy are probably the two closest ones to being associated with us, just because we're their friends, and they do panels with us. But these people are all great, and they're definitely all worth at least a look into if you are a fan of the Monster Hunter series or are new to the series. With that being said, obviously we are Monster Hunter NYC. We are a community. Some of you may live in areas that are not New York City and are a little bit harder to find people to play Monster Hunter with. And maybe you want to see them in person, and conventions with only one panel that is hosted by us at any given time because no one else does Monster Hunter stuff. It's hard to find, for how popular Monster Hunter has gotten, it's very hard sometimes to find people to share that with outside of the internet. It can be very difficult to know where to go to, where to meet people. So you may want to create your own community, or maybe it's not even Monster Hunter related. You just want to create a community in general. And the first thing you have to do, leave your goddamn room. Like, it's hard to, I mean, we joke about that. You can also make communities from your room online, but if you want an in-person community, you're going to have to go out and meet people. And it's hard. Let's be honest, that is very difficult sometimes. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, basically. You have to find a space that's easy for people to meet up. It can't just be convenient for you. It has to be convenient for everyone you want to meet with. So you may have to put some travel in. For example, I live in New Jersey. New Jersey represent. I heard a woo in the back. I love you. I love all of you. I have to take New Jersey Transit, and then the MTA, and then I have to fucking walk to get to Waypoint Cafe. It is an hour-long trip each way for me to make it to a Monster Hunter meetup on Saturdays. That is a pain in the ass because driving in that area sucks and it's expensive to keep a car. Yes.
Just move it back to the concourse.
Okay, the reason why we moved it out of the concourse was specifically because of World, because there are no TVs there. TVs there. Wow, that was hard to get out. There are no TVs there for us to play. Waypoint Cafe has food, TVs, Smash, tables. Like, we have reserved tables there. We're not just like trying to cram all these tables together. But to your point, we didn't start out in a gaming cafe. We started out in a public cafeteria type area, the Rockefeller Concourse in Manhattan, because it was a free public space that was somewhat centralized that everyone could go to. And admittedly, when we moved to Waypoint Cafe, we did lose a chunk of the community because it wasn't as convenient for them to get to, even though the accommodations were much better. So that's something you're going to have to keep in mind. Yes, one more.
If Capcom's next mainline Monster Hunter title goes back to Portable Systems, will you guys go back to the concourse?
I don't know if we'll go back to the concourse, and the reason why I say that is because the logistics of the concourse are always a bit of a nightmare. Trying to get the tables moved together. We haven't been there in a while, so security doesn't know us as well as they used to. And with Waypoint Cafe, it doesn't close until 2 in the morning. Yeah, so the concourse kicked us out at like 10 or 11. So while our meetups are officially from like 7 until 11 on Saturdays, we can really stay until 2 in the morning if they want, because like I said, we're friends with the Waypoint staff. They let us use the space. We just ask that you don't bring food or beverage in there because they're trying to run a business. Yes, Ed, you have something to contribute. What's that? Oh, are they closing the concourse? Oh, well, that would make it even more difficult to meet there. So like I said, you bring up a valid point. It's not as convenient for you to get to Waypoint as it is to get to the concourse. So trying to find a location, you can't obviously please everyone, which sucks, but trying to find that can be hard. And then branding. People don't realize how important branding is. It's not just your face. You have to stylize your face, like Sammy does.
Yes.
For his logo. But you have to be recognizable. Selfies are everywhere. You have to make a way, you have to have a branding logo that stands out. Like we have our little cat in the corner there. The palico is super cute. And also, love it or hate it, social media is ride or die. Like it makes or breaks your community. You have to be consistent with communication, with updates. Admittedly, we could be better on that. We are working on it. But that consistent communication, that putting yourself out there, you don't have to put yourself out there, but you have to put a version of yourself out there. I'm myself up here. This is a part of me, but it's not the same part of me that these people see behind the scenes. So you have to be genuine, and you have to use social media, but you have to put yourself out there, but also protect yourself. And we kind of get into that a little bit later on when we get into fun stories of community highs and community lows. Do you want anything to say on the community aspect for?
Yeah, so like he said, that stuff is, you have to be able to just put yourself out there. Like I started streaming just to, like I'd play whatever I was playing with my buddies at college, and then I'd go home and you leave college, you're not with your buddies, so I just started streaming to just hang out. And then from there, it just kept growing. And it was never like planned kind of stuff. It just kept going from there and forward and forward. And then, you're flying out to places you didn't even think you'd ever be at kind of stuff, which is super cool. But you just have to be consistent in some form with those things. And even with that being in person or online, it may be mentioned earlier, but you see all this Discord stuff up here. Discord is huge, and now, currently that it exists, very huge in keeping that bond in your community close. Because before you'd have to, there's Facebook or maybe Twitter or there's a ton of different platforms, but they were all kind of face level. You couldn't really have close conversations or anything like that, even on videos or chats or things like that. Like those things are picked up and put down kind of whenever you want, but being able to have something like Discord where wherever you are, or whether you're on your break at work or you're just getting home or whatever, you can just open up Discord, see what your community's up to. Those kind of things really help in keeping that community close-knit.
And building off your Twitch and your internet experience, when we started out, we didn't just go out and find random people. We posted on forums. We went to like Capcom Unity and find places where there's already an existing community, where there's already an interest in what you're trying to put out there, and meet people through the forums, make posts, advertise, go to your local like gaming stores, your gaming hangouts, your gaming cafes if they exist. Most every town has some kind of a comic book shop that you can find. If not in your town, 1 or 2 towns over. Go to those gaming meetups and just meet people. Like you got to get it's the same. It's like making friends. You got to put yourself out there, basically. Like if you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to make friends. If you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to make a community. And also collaborating with other people like we're doing here. We collaborate with a lot of other YouTubers, a lot of other Monster Hunter communities. We collaborate with Capcom themselves to give away these lovely prizes we have up here. We got to be willing to work with people, and sometimes we got to be flexible. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like you may come into conflict with someone in the community. Sometimes you got to be willing to bend a little, because the easier you are to work with, the more people want to work with you, the bigger your community gets because more people hear about you. So what are the pros of having and creating your own community? One, you don't need a degree. It's free to make a community until it's not. Yeah, Mary put the friendship is magic, and this joke is old, and she's absolutely right, but it's a cliche for a reason. Making friends is the key to a community. People need to connect with you. If they don't connect with you, why are they going to stick around? You don't have to be everyone's best friend, but they need to feel like they know you in some capacity, and you have to be receptive to that. Again, network building, where we're kind of rehashing here, resume building, which is basically going to conventions, hosting events, like just doing stuff. For example, I joined the Monster Hunter NYC in 2016. I came in just as a member. I had just moved back to New Jersey, I should say. I just moved back to New Jersey. I didn't really have any friends in the area. If I'm being completely honest, I was going through a huge relationship issue. I went through a divorce shortly thereafter. So I really didn't have anyone to connect with. And I loved Monster Hunter. I've been playing Monster Hunter obsessively since Try on the Wii. And I'd found out about Monster Hunter NYC. And so I went out, not really expecting much because my life was kind of shit up until that point. But the community there was just so welcoming. Everyone was willing to play with me. I didn't know anyone. It's hard for me to meet people up front. Like, I'm super charismatic once I get going, but like to meet people initially is really hard. Like, to put yourself out there, it's scary. It's scary to go someplace you've never been to before with a whole bunch of people you've never met. You don't know how they're gonna react to you, but I put myself out there and I loved it. The people were incredibly friendly. They were incredibly helpful. They ran the monsters I needed to run. I helped them run the monsters they needed to run. I was like maybe HR 50 at the time, playing with HR 189s. Like it's so helpful, and they were all so nice. And I kept coming back, week after week, and pretty much every week. I barely missed a week unless I was going on vacation or had to go somewhere. I was there every week, and I was just a regular member, but I was a consistent, familiar face. People knew who I was. And then there was a shakeup in our admin team, and there were positions that needed to be filled, and Mary reached out to me like, Jerry, you're here every week. We know you. You hang out with us after meetups. You hang out with us at the meetups. If we're not here, you take charge when we're not here and help the community out. You know, we'd like you to be an admin of Monster Hunter NYC, and here I am. All I did was move to New York for a relationship that didn't work out, and here I am hosting a panel about Monster Hunter in the community. I didn't plan this. It just thank you. But that's what I mean. Like, you don't necessarily plan these things, and that consistency is everything. Absolutely everything. Because if people know that you're always going to be there, they're forgiving if you can't be. And you explain that, hey, hey, I'm not feeling great. Mary couldn't be here today because she caught a bug last night. She was supposed to run this panel, so here I am. You guys got me instead. My ugly head. Anyway, look, my hair isn't as beautiful as hers, okay? But Mary got sick. That's why she couldn't be here today. But I'm gonna step in because that's what the community needs. You know, we can't just give up this panel because you guys are all expecting us to be here. And here we are. And I am over the moon at this panel size. Like, give yourselves a round of applause for being here at 12 in the morning. This is like fucking amazing. But going on, again, I kind of got on a bit of a tangent, but going on that resume building aspect, I came in with nothing for my resume. But now I'm a community manager. I stream on Twitch occasionally for First Saturdays, which are events we do every month. Every first Saturday of every month, we stream on Twitch from Waypoint Cafe. We do various games that aren't Monster Hunter, or sometimes also Monster Hunter. And I have panels that I can put on my resume. I have the community, and I'm not well known yet, but you guys have seen my face now. And it's put out there. So that's what you got to do. You got to put yourself out there is basically what I'm getting at. And I spent way too long on this slide, so let's move on.
Well, going off of putting yourself out there, the way I met these folks is I took just a random trip up to New York. I'm from Pennsylvania, a little bit north of Philly. Yeah, we got PA out here. Sick. A little bit north of Philly, so New York is maybe about like a 2-hour bus ride or so. So I go up there. It's easy to go there, but can't do it like this guy does every week, kind of thing. So I took a trip up there to the Nintendo Center, Nintendo World. That's the word. Monster Hunter World. See, it all links. It all
it's all
goes back.
one world.
Yeah. So I go up to Nintendo World, and this was, like I said, around 2010, 2011, when you say Monster Hunter, people ask, what do you do in that game? So I'm just walking around or whatever, and John, who kind of started this whole thing, was just going around to anybody, like, do you guys play Monster Hunter with this 3DS? And just like, do you guys know Monster Hunter? I'm like, wait a minute. there's another human being within 50 miles that knows what Monster Hunter is. And that's literally all it took from that point, and we've been friends and a part of this community from there on. And that just goes, he was just looking for anybody who was into this extremely niche game at the time and was like, oh, do you want to play? Just to random people. So doing that is just putting out there your passion. People will see that, and it'll just help you just continue building that community. And those bonds last. Like I said, we've been friends now for, holy shit, almost a decade. That's insane. Yeah, Monster Hunter has built some strong relationships. For me personally, he's right over there. The first guy who told me about Monster Hunter started this whole thing.
Round
for
of applause.
me. I've known since
He built this community.
Yeah, over 10 years at this point. We've been great friends. And
How much do you pay him for starting your community?
I probably should.
And that's the thing. The community is great. I mean, you guys are all phenomenal for being here. Like we love you guys. Like you guys are so amazing. But there's also the dark side to communities, because communities involve people and people are flawed. Let's be honest. Like when you wanna, Mary likes playing Prowler in GU, and people like to kick Prowlers from lobbies. It's rude. Stop doing that, guys. We're just trying to play the game. But there's a side of the community that people don't like to talk about. We like to talk about all the sunshine and roses of Monster Hunters and triple carding. But there are a lot of things that we don't talk about that are definitely present there. When you're dealing with community, these things are going to come up. Sexual harassment. People are going to come to conflict with each other. People are going to push against you in ways that you don't like. It's going to happen. For example, we've had to ban people for sexual harassment and sexual assault at our meetups. It happens. People cannot keep their hands to themselves. Or sometimes it's not even a handsy thing. Sometimes people say things to each other, and you have to take that seriously. You can't just brush it off. If someone comes to you and says, this person said this, and you didn't hear it, take that person at their word, because most people aren't trying to stir that kind of shit up, and it's really hard to say those kinds of things. I've had people slap my ass, and I've never said anything about it because I'm supposed to suck it up. And that's not okay. It's not okay, but it happens. And as a community manager, as a community leader, you need to believe the people that say that. Because I've seen it. I've seen a lot of things that people are just kind of brushed to the side for. And there are a lot of people that struggle with mental health issues. I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I have ADHD, it's not hugely debilitating, but like I'm impulsive. I don't think before I do or say things. When I was a kid, I used to get into fights all the time because if you said something to me and insulted me and got me mad, my first instinct was to hit someone. I didn't have that mental capacity in the front of my head that said, don't do that. It's not good. It's better now because I am 34 years old and have been through therapy and medication, and I now know what triggers that and know what to do to get out of the way, but not everyone knows how to do that. And we have one member, I won't mention his name, he's super, like he has a lot of anxiety issues, like generalized anxiety disorder. He needs to be walked home after meetups because it's difficult for him to even leave his place. But he wants to be part of the community. And you can't walk everyone home, obviously, but sometimes you need to go that extra mile for the person that needs help. Because they want to be part of this too, and because they are struggling doesn't mean they can't be part of the community. There are people that are socially inappropriate. They just say things that they're not supposed to say. They don't mean harm by it, but they don't necessarily know what they're doing. You got to be accommodating to that. You have, again, that flexibility is so important. And sometimes you're going to have people that you just don't like come to your meetups. They may not be doing anything overtly wrong. You just don't like them. Suck it up. Be mature about it, because you are a leadership figure. This is your community, and your community reflects on you and how you behave yourself. I shouldn't do that, that's rude. But that's what I'm getting at. Like you have to be the bigger person, and you have to protect those that can't protect themselves. It's hard. It's a lot of work, and it will inevitably lead to burnout. Everyone, I'm sure in this room, has experienced burnout at some point in their lives with something. It may not be Monster Hunter, it may not be with running a community. It could just be you go to work every goddamn day, and it's hard because there's so much stress in your life. I have a job that's 5 days a week. I work about 50 hours a week. I help run this community. I work for Anime Next in the charity auctions department, so I'm doing that kind of on the side. My girlfriend lives in Connecticut, so I had to travel through 2 states to visit my girlfriend. And I do MMA 4 to 5 days a week, and I get like 2 hours to myself on any given night, tops. Like that is it. It's hard. I'm constantly on the verge of burnout, and every once in a while, I'll burn out a little bit on something here, burn out a little bit on something there, and it's how do you come back from burnout? Like it's very hard. And I don't know, Sammy, if you want to contribute.
I've experienced the same thing. Like I said, I started streaming just again for fun, just doing it whatever, and it just kept going to where it is. And over those years, there's definitely been periods of burnout, and sometimes you just have to step back and just reevaluate and look at what's important and fun to you. There was a phase in my streaming career where gung-ho, super head over heels, I gotta do this, gotta go here, go to this convention, meet these people, talk to this over and over, and there just hit a point where I was like, wait, what am I doing? Like I need to just stop. And I took maybe about 4 or 5 months just to myself, just to evaluate what was going on in my life. And within that time, you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what your plans are. I ended up meeting my now wife from the Netherlands, and we connected and all that just because I was like, all right, I'm gonna just stop and live my life, not what everybody watches me live. And those things are important. So even though at the time I was like, man, I can't believe I'm taking a break off of this. This is what I want to be doing. Doing that led to, now where we are now, you come back as like a phoenix kind of thing, right? So now I'm living my best life at that point, right? So I took that break, met my now wife, and I couldn't be happier with where I am now. But you gotta have those highs and lows to get to where you want to be.
Yeah, it will happen. Like I said, I'm constantly teetering on burnout, but I wouldn't rather be anywhere else right now. I'm having so much fun doing all of this. And yeah, it's hard sometimes, but if you love it and you really want to do it, you stick with it. And that's what you got to do. Take time for yourself. Like mental health is so important. But just make sure you're doing what you love. If you're doing what you love, you won't be upset with the results at the end. You can't be, because you love what you're doing. We talked about game burnout, social burnout, be a grower to help you shower. Mary wrote this. There's a reason why she's sick. I give her a hard time because I love her. Yeah. I'm not saying it was me. I'm not. No. Okay. But yeah, be a grower, not a shower is, again, be willing to learn and grow from your community. You're not just helping your community grow. Your community helps you grow as a person. I'm not the same person I was in 2016 when I moved to New Jersey. A lot happened to me in that time period. I am not the same person, but I'm a better person for it. I've learned from the things that I did wrong. I've learned from the things that I did right. And I'm still learning. I'm never going to stop learning how to do things better. And to talk about the community aspect, the Capcom Monster Hunter official team, Yuri and everyone, Sox, are wonderfully amazing people. When you start getting recognition, running a gaming community, you can approach or will be approached by businesses that want to collaborate with you to help get their brand out there. there are certain things you don't want to do when you're trying to like collaborate with the company. So for example, we had a member at one point kind of inappropriately approach a community manager and make him very uncomfortable. Some of the things he did was be incredibly pushy on, hey, let's do this together. When do you want to do this together? Going outside of us as a group to talk to them. Yeah, kind of circumventing our own communication structure with the community manager to try to collaborate with them. It wasn't a pretty scene. It didn't reflect necessarily poorly on us. It reflected more poorly on him, but it could have reflected poorly on us. So you want to be very respectful, respect their time and their schedule. Your follow-ups when they aren't responsive shouldn't be, yo, I haven't heard back. Like your response should be, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. Just wondering if you're still up for collaborating on this. Don't be like, you're gonna get back to me? Like where the fuck? What? Like, or let's do this. Let's do like you. Like, come on, let's do this. Just do this. That's annoying. Don't be that person. Be very respectful. Give them some time to respond to you. They have their own lives and jobs. They are busy. But if you're respectful and you start building a community, you'll build a portfolio of business collaborators. That will give you free things, and we're at the 10-minute mark, so we're gonna like rush through the rest of the slide and just get through those, so you guys can walk away with some nice stuff, and we'll take some questions after the fact. But the other thing we need is an end goal. What are you working towards? You don't just build a community. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna build a community today. Ha! Who does that? You have a goal with that. You build it. I want to build a community today because I want people to play Monster Hunter with. That's an end goal. That's a perfectly acceptable end goal, but have that vision and stick to that vision. And your goal can change as time happens. Again, we didn't plan on being this. John just wanted to play Monster Hunter with people. And so he was just walking up to anyone he thought might play it, and that was it. That was his end goal. Find people to play Monster Hunter with that live near me. And now, again, obviously that's changed as the community grew, as our Facebook grew, and now we run panels at conventions. You gotta be patient, be kind. Monster Hunter. Who wants to do a raffle giveaway? All right, we got 10 minutes for this. Bring those tickets up front. I'm gonna disconnect this because I hate sitting anyway. Actually, I'm gonna use
I
this
want to
one.
make sure, did everyone get a ticket?
Is there anybody who didn't get a raffle ticket?
Yep, please come up to the front. Who didn't get a ticket? Raise your hand if you didn't get a ticket.
Oh, sick. Everybody got a ticket.
Okay, good. And I think someone had a question. You had a question?
Have you guys ever considered meeting up Tuesdays?
So part of the reason why we don't meet up 2 days a week, and staffing issues. Again, we all have our own jobs and stuff like that we do during the week. If I were to try to be at the meetups twice a week, I would never get to do anything that I wanted to do. It's not something. It's something we can maybe talk about. I just don't see it ever happening. We can maybe talk. We've tried alternating days of the week. We tried doing it on Fridays instead. Saturdays. And again, this kind of goes with being flexible with your community. You got to do what works best for the majority of people. You can't always do what works best for everyone because that's impossible. You can't meet everyone's demands. The only way we can meet everyone's demands would be to open our own Monster Hunter specific gaming cafe. And if anyone wants to give us a loan with no interest, we'd be very happy to talk to you about this. Come meet me after the panel. But I mean, you got to do what's best for the majority, unfortunately. You can't please everyone, and it sucks because you want to. So Amelia, I believe you have some raffle tickets. So what we have up here today, as I come down the front, yes, I know I'm not that tall. So the grand prize is going to be a Nergigante statue that we have that Capcom so generously gave to us. We have 2 blind boxes, some pins, and some enamel keychains with little Rathalos scales, or the special one that's the potion. We ran out of potions, that's why we only have one. We also have some Discord shirts here in various sizes, so we will be giving out 4 Discord shirts and then throwing the rest at you. So I hope you know how to catch. Okay, with that, we're gonna start with the Discord shirts. Amelia, give us our first ticket, please, Vanna White.
Okay. Ticket number 737184.
Come on up. What size shirt are you, good sir? You don't have to say it into the mic. You just tell me, and I'll give it to you. Extra large? I think that's this one. Yes. Here you go. Thank you. Oh, also, anyone who gets a prize, stop and see us after the panel. We'd like to get a picture of you because Discord does kind of check this kind of thing, and we would like to show Capcom that we are giving away their prizes and not just keeping them for ourselves. We do give them away, I promise. All right, Amelia, next one, please.
Next one is,
Just read the last 3 numbers.
okay, 180.
Come on up. Come on up. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. What size shirt would you like? Here you go. We are out of extra larges. So let us know. Okay, next one.
Next up is 233.
Oh, come on down. What size shirt? Or this? Actually, large or small? We're at a medium. Small? Bam. You're welcome. All right, we're giving away one more shirt, and then we're going to throw the rest to the audience.
Okay.
And you get whatever size you get.
Numbers 216.
216. We're just reading the last 3 numbers, so it's not going to be the full thing.
Yeah.
No? Did you drop your ticket?
Or maybe
All right, read another one.
Okay. 253.
253, come on down. Yeah, there we go. There's some energy. Come on, yeah. What size would you like? Here you go. You're welcome. All right, now we're going to get to the Monster Hunter specific giveaways. We are going to start with these lovely blind box enamels, and either this potion is going to go first. So if you really want this potion, blame her if you don't get it.
You have to say you don't want it. We all know the desire sensor.
No, we can.
We all know how the desire sensor works.
Yeah, actually, first come, first serve. So you get to choose which one of these 4 that you want because they're the same prize otherwise. So.
Okay.
Trying to use RNG.
Numbers 178.
Yo, it's a desire sensor. I mean, it's
178.
178. Excellent. Whoop. Come on down, good sir. Take your pick of any of these. Here, would you like the potion in the enamel or a Rathalos scale in the enamel? Excellent. Excellent choice, good sir. He took it. No one gets the potion now. It's gone. Get good, scrub. All right, Amelia, next ticket.
215.
215. Come on down. Do you want me to hand it to you, or do you want to trust your own RNG luck?
Oh, I'll do my RNG.
All right, pick whichever one of these 3. Excellent. Thank you. I love your Charmander, by the way. It's adorable. All right, next one. We have a lot to give away. I'm not like to sell a ton.
224.
224, come on down. Do you trust my RNG, or do you want to trust your own RNG? Don't put this pressure on me. It's too much pressure.
Okay.
And next?
Next.
This is the last enamel and scale.
Okay. 222.
Wow. Whoa, we got Kiki, come on down. Here you go. Enjoy. All right, now we're to give away these Monster Hunter World blind boxes. We have 2 of them. So, Amelia, if you could read off the next number.
Are they taped shut or no?
Yes.
Oh,
Well, they're glued shut because that's how they came. There's no tape.
I want to know what they are.
I mean, you can always ask them to open it for you. Okay, if you get a blind box and you want to open it in front of everyone and be like show off, you're more than welcome to, because I mean, I kind of want to know what you got too.
So do I.
You don't have to, but if you want to.
Okay. 211.
211, come on down. Pick your blind. I'm not doing this for you. You pick your own, man. Excellent. You want to open it up here? Go for it. I mean, we'll call the next one in the meanwhile, because we got to
right.
rapid fire these.
Okay, so next up is 218.
218, come on down. Here you go, good sir. You want to open it up here? You're going to take it? Excellent. What do we got? What do we got? Is that Agenath or Rathalos? I can't.
It's
Oh,
Glavinus.
it's Glavinus. It's Glavinus.
Nice.
Nice. I just saw the red, so I went to the two that were. What do we got? What is that? Oh, it's a Mizutsune.
Oh, my favorite
Ooh,
monster.
very
I'm jealous.
nice. All right, and now we have this lovely set of 4 pins for Monster Hunter World, and one of the well, it's actually 3 for World, and then one of the 5th Legion. Is it the one?
Fifth
one of-
Fleet.
Fifth,
Yeah, that.
Yeah, the Fifth Fleet.
Yeah.
Fifth guild or
Pin.
Okay.
So
All right. For number 194.
194.
194.
Come claim your pins, good sir. These are like super nice, by the way. Yeah, like look at those. Yeah, enjoy them. Those are great.
Like,
And now, the pièce de résistance, the Nergigante statue. So everyone can hate this person for winning this. This is it. Drum roll, please, everyone.
for numbers 226.
226, come on down. Do you want to open this in front of everyone and make them super jealous? Yeah, go ahead, show that off. It is nice. I'm sorry the box is a little crushed. It had to go through a lot to get here. He's a honker. Like, he's a lad.
I think it's
Yeah. Is it all taped up, tape? All right. So while you're opening that up, so that is our panel. So it's 12:32. Thank you all for coming. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to come. We'll hang around a little bit.
We have
also
shirts
have
to
Discord
throw.
pins and
we have
stickers.
shirts to throw.
Yes, and we have shirts to throw into the crowd. So I'm just gonna huck these behind me and just hope someone gets a T-shirt. I'm gonna lob this one to the back.
Can I throw one?
Yeah, do you want to throw one? I'm going to toss this one really close behind me. You're welcome. Amelia, throw that last one. Just huck it wherever you want to huck it. Wrap it up,
in like
because
that.
otherwise that's going to just like flutter in the air.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
too
ball
far
it up.
away.
That'll work.
Yeah. Cool.
Don't fall. There's that last one. Ah, nice. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Again, we are Monster Hunter NYC and HotSammySliz.